Hello and welcome back to a very cold London. The last time I spoke to Craig Erdem from Al Pari, he said the euro was overvalued. I've been back to the offices of Al Pari to see if he still holds this view, but first we started by talking about the yen. US officials have indicated that they're happy to see Japan return to growth. The markets have taken that as a sign that the US is content to see the yen continue to weaken. So this is surely going to push the yen over that 95 mark.
It could do. I think the most important thing right now is it's going to push it towards that 95 mark. I mean, I think the next key level of resistance for the pair is going to be around 94.75. We did start to see a pullback, and we've seen that reversal back up, bring back the uptrend. Like I said, I think we were going to see a slight pullback, maybe back towards around 91, but we have seen it reverse back up towards that 95 level following these remarks. I think that 94.75 now is that next key level. I think a break above here, and we could be looking towards 100, but that 95, I think 94.75 is that next key level.
From a trader's and investor's point of view, the yen's quite a good pair to trade at the moment, isn't it, in terms of the crosses, because in a way one side of the equation's already fixed, because we know the yen's probably going to weaken over the next month or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think in a lot of ways the euro-yen pair is even more intriguing than the dollar-yen pair. I think that seems to be a little bit more reactive at this moment in time. But I think the good thing about the yen at the moment is we can only really see one outlook for the pair, and that's further yen weakening. So it's less about trying to work out what the direction of the pair is and more about trying to work out when we're going to see that pullback and trying to find that optimal entry point.
Sure. Let's move on to the euro. I was reading a really interesting note from UBS. They were essentially saying that the reaction to Draghi's non-comments, as they were, was overdone last week. What's your take on how the euro's been reacting over the last week or so?
Well, it did surprise me, if I'm honest. I mean, I thought that 135 level would be a key area of resistance. It did move up to around 137. But now, as we've seen it pull back again. We've seen it trading back below that 135 level. And I think what we're going to see now is a bit of a consolidation period. We've had the inverse head and shoulders over the past few months, which is formed. So I think in the longer term, I think we are going to see it push maybe up towards 142 based on the size of that head and shoulders. But I think at least for the next month or two, especially with the Italian elections just around the corner, I think we're going to see a period of consolidation. Maybe the euro, pulling back to around 132 before we do see that next push higher.
Yeah, last time I was here, you said the euro was overvalued. What would you say now?
I'd say it's still overvalued. Like I said, I think over the next couple of months, I think we're going to see it pull back towards that 131, 132 area. Like I say, the Italian election just in a couple of weeks' time brings so much uncertainty with it, so much political uncertainty there, especially since Silvio Berlusconi's PDL party closed the point gap to within a margin of error. The amount of uncertainty that brings is never good for the euro. So I think we are going to see it pull back towards around 132 with the longer term outlook pointing towards around 142.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I did lots of interviews and we were talking about how we're going to return to looking at fundamentals. But it seems on top of looking at fundamentals for the FX market that policymakers and what they're saying is also equally as important.
It's always going to be important. We've even seen that over the last year. The fundamentals is obviously important, but what people are really looking at is the central banks. The Fed started it off with some very unusual measures of monetary easing. We've seen these unlimited QE programs. We've now seen it from the Bank of Japan. We've seen the ultra low interest rates there for a long time, and now we're seeing this open-ended QE program. We're seeing talk of it in the Eurozone as well. We saw the LTROs back in 2011, start of 2012. We could now see other measures from the ECB, although it's looking more like a rate cut maybe in the next few months. And now that Mark Carney's coming in at the Bank of England, we could see some more unusual measures here as well. So there's always going to be a lot of focus on the central banks, even more so potentially this year, especially with all this talk of the currency wars starting to really build up. But we have seen that comment today from the G7 to say that they're not really too concerned about currency wars at the moment. And I think that's because each central bank, despite the fact that maybe the Bank of Japan's been more open about their intention with these rate cuts and with these the open-ended asset purchases, I think what they can see is that the fundamentals are there as well. The Japanese have seen deflation for a decade now. They've got low growth. They're actually in recession at this moment in time. So you can see that the fundamentals do still support these measures from the central banks. And as long as we can continue to see this, then I don't really see it as an issue.
Just to finish off, I'm wondering how traders and investors are meant to pick what's important and what's not, because if we refer back to that press conference by Draghi last week, he didn't particularly say anything, but yet the market somehow interpreted that as that he would like to see the currency weakened.
Yeah, I mean, he was very, very almost sneaky in the way that he did it. I mean, up until this point, he said the ECB don't concern themselves with the currency rates, not part of their mandate. But then you also saw that little change of tone in his voice, which he knows is going to have an impact on the markets. Only a month ago, he said he expected the Eurozone to pick up in the second half of this year. And all of a sudden, in the last conference, it was later on this year. And it's only a slight change of tone in his voice. But I think he knows as well as anyone else that this is going to have a negative impact on the euro. So he's trying to help push it lower without explicitly making these decisions to all of a sudden then you've got accusations that you're getting involved in the currency wars, and you're getting accusations from Germany as well that you're trying to weaken the currency, and then there's all these inflation fears as well. I mean, there's a lot. He's been very, very sneaky about the way he's done this, but I think he knows exactly what he's done.
Well, Craig Earnham from Alpari, excellent as always. We'll keep on top of all the major FX themes here on Dukascopy TV, but for now, goodbye.